gonna infest it.
I'm not sure about this hero, what I feel. I want to see, at least in this kind of a game, an item build that you just go in like armlet into Deso, straight up fighting item. I need more seconds to see what's going on the other team. Virtus.Pro picked up Darkseer and Oracle. I guess they just wanted to deny the Oracle pick and have a Darkseer plus Ember Spirit. That's going to be a pretty strong combo.
Lifestealer, as of now, from what I see, they drafted it because it's just unkillable. They don't really have to help it at all in the early game. They're going to have to draft a carry that brings them down. But as I see, Slark's out, Anti-Mage, Troll, Morphling, Faceless Void might be their last ban. Seems like the best hero left in the pool. I don't know if the Radiant lineup they ban Razor. Okay, so I'm thinking Void's likely for the Virtus.Pro draft. One of the few heroes left in the pool that really is annoying to play Lifestealer against. Lanes pretty well against Bat. It isn't the best versus the two supports, but core to core goes really well there, and they have a save with the Oracle. Darkseer surprised a bit to see first round. Yeah, I was talking about. I thought this hero was kind of dumpstered. We'll have to see how it plays out here. Effectively, for people who haven't paid attention, surpassing it by a large margin. You're going from like 800 speed to 550 on Surge. In the lane, same once you get boots, speed on Surge. So it's a pretty huge nerf. They didn't give him anything to make up for it, and kind of strange that they just, you know, he gets his one sub patch of the decade.
This was one of the only heroes that you said felt really weak coming out of what we saw in the patch notes.
Yeah.
Did you say who else did you not like? Phoenix?
Phoenix seemed pretty hard impacted. We're still seeing it first round banned though. It seems like
I don't think these are the nerfs that are gonna influence the hero picking that much. Phoenix is still gonna be a strong hero. They cooldown on Sunray.
Sunray, 2 base damage, and then one of the talents is worse too.
Still interesting because, like you said, two of the things that you thought got impacted the most with the changes, we're still seeing them in the first phase.
Slardar, nice enabler for Lifestealer. Lifestealer generally his only issue is getting kited and damage, so immediately solved by Slardar. Not the best versus Oracle though, in lane or in game.
So they kind of already blocked the melee hero pick for Virtus.Pro. They have Oracle +1 in that lane. Slardar Ruik is a pretty strong dual lane, and whenever Slardar is matched up against any melee hero, I feel like Slardar just comes on top of that matchup.
You also don't want to pick like the Drows or the Medusas against Batrider. Kind of annoying to play that matchup in the game. You do have the Oracle to save you, but I don't know, it feels really like all the lane counters that are good against Slardar aren't necessarily good against Batrider. So instead, are they putting the Ember safe lane? It looks like ILTW special.
I think they just put him on the mid lane and have that Prophet on the safe lane.
So have no one playing it, or you think the players are going to swap? What do you think here?
I just think they saw this Slardar pick and they needed to adjust, see what's happening. I mean, it's a mid Batrider. I feel like Team Nigma has an upper hand in this one. They kind of forced Virtus.Pro to pick the heroes that they did not want to. That's the feeling that I'm getting here.
I agree. I think Weeha's on his best hero, the Batrider. Miracle's set up to carry the game absolutely with Lifestealer. The only threat to him dying is the Death Prophet silence and the Earth Spirit silence, but they don't have any immediate burst damage to follow that up. Sometimes you'll be playing against, you know, like a lion type nuke, Alina, and then if you get silenced, you just die before you get rage off. In this case, he has to basically be getting hit by 3 or 4 heroes, maybe being hit by Death Prophet ult while silenced. So that fact that he's not scared of dying means he can just itemize purely offensively, like you were talking about Armlet Deso, and I don't think Oracle's going to be enough to protect this lineup. So I'm really favoring the Team Nigma draft based on the rapid fire catch up we had to do in this assessment here.
Oh, so the odds are in line with you as well from EGB.com, as you can see on your screen right now. I do have a question, and that is about Lifestealer. I feel like every single time I am on a panel and it gets locked in, the analysts say that they hate this hero. How do you feel about it in this lineup, and where does some of that hate come from with the Lifestealer right now, Lacoste?
I just don't feel the hero is as strong as any like other top tier carries right now, but if you have someone to, you know, buff you up like a mag, or in this case Slardar, Lifestealer can be that just unkillable beast. Like I think this hero is kind of a sleeper, but is also weaker than the rest of the carries. But if he's having a good game, like you might say, yeah, why is Lifestealer not picked more often? And I think this game is going to be the case.
Okay, it seems like it might be a good Lifestealer game. It's definitely going to be a good game to watch. This is one of the series that, all in all, you look at the schedule for today, it's one of the ones that we were definitely anticipating. And we got a great duo to cast all the action.
Very good. Total spawn.
Thank you very much, Rich. Yes, I'm here with Fogged, ready to take you through this this banger of a series. So we've seen the draft. Fogged, what do we reckon? First thing that sort of strikes out to me is that they have let Nigma get the Weehaw bat. And
yes,
this has been a hero-player combination that a lot of teams have struggled to deal with in this Omega League. Have VP got the answer for it?
At least they have Oracle like save. They have some elusive hero with like the bat with the Ember Spirit versus the bat too. But what I've seen, I mean, I've just seen Weehaw run away with these games. He makes so much space. They're getting aggro here up on the top lane. Araman will tank most of that pressure. Okay, so bringing 3 heroes top right at the start. That means, I mean, the lanes are kind of obvious, or they have to set them up, right? Like the Ember has to go bottom, Prophet kind of has to go mid. You can't put the Ember versus Batrider mid just sounds like a disaster.
Sure, but I mean, it's not like, I mean, this bottom lane's still not easy for the Ember, right?
It's very tough for him, in fact. I think this is, Slardar is just so good versus these melee heroes. And Ember, he's not one of those high armor melee heroes. Like the Agi heroes usually like, oh, 7 armor or something, right, to start. Ember is one of the lowest. He's at like 3 as an Agi hero at starting armor. So that physical damage definitely does hurt quite a bit. And Rubik harassment too. Yeah, it should be a tough time for LTW. Up there for sure.
And then, yeah, this mid lane will see how this one starts early on, I guess. As the DP, I mean, how does this one go? I feel like Weehaw is still going to be able to put some pressure onto this DP, and if these stacks get up, gets the early point in flame break, there's still going to be opportunities where Weehaw can go in on the DP.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot about how no one controls the lane with just pushing it out constantly with Crypt Swarm. The animation on it is so damn good now, but I think it's going to be a lot about playing around like Siphon charges too. If he can bait a Siphon charge, that's when you'll see Weehaw start to get really aggressive. But yeah, I think watching no one, just spam like clarities, get your bottle, your mangoes, etc. Force the wave constantly onto the Batrider so he can't double up and just dive you.
And then top lane, as talked about in the panel, we're seeing the Lifestealer in play, but definitely to agree with sort of Lacosse's point, this is a game where a core that can, a lot of the times in this patch, feel underwhelming, can succeed, right? Because you've got a lot of great heroes to make sure that he has a great time, right? The physical buffs from the Venge and the Slardar is going to allow him to hit super hard, and he's going to have that fantastic Vessel of the Bat.
2 Vessels. Slardar jumps inside of Slardar too. That's what we saw. I mean, it's dating back a bit much, but that was a Team Nigma when they were Team Liquid Special. Remember the Slardar Lifestealer at Manila? That Manila Major, that's what they played every single game, so they're very familiar with it. Sure, it was with some different players and stuff like that too, but something that they're definitely very aware of. We've seen that mid matchup already. You see he's doing very well on this Death Prophet. He has level 3 now, so he's constantly nuking the wave in. Weehaw is having a tough time pushing it in. Stick charges too. Looks like no one's going to do really well in this one.
Go straight for this game.
As long as he doesn't get like dove for a kill threat, that's when he's going to do really well. He's going to be able to outlast hit this bat.
I mean, is anyone going to be making moves on either side really towards that mid lane, looking at these side lane supports?
4-minute runes, potentially. That's just about it. I don't think anyone really makes too many aggressive moves beside that solo bottom.
May just go down here. He's got it. First blood for GH. Definitely in the lane that we did feel was going to be the toughest on the map, really. The pressure from the Rubik Slardar is not going to be fun at all for this Oracle and Ember to try and deal with in the early levels.
No, absolutely. That is really going to be the big one that we're looking for, those kills constantly. Did see the Oracle, he took all the pressure, and Ember Spirit's actually still farming. So that's, you know, you lose your support, but that's kind of his job to
that's true.
Up that. So, you know, you're not too dissatisfied with what's going on there inside of VP. No one continuing to do good in mid, just constantly trading, hitting.
Yeah, this is a really solid opening from no one in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, have a bit of an attempt onto Solo. Bash comes out from mind control as they'll run him down. Prep him for the final hit. There it is. They don't even need it to kill him. They can turn and use that second bash onto ILTW. Now he's in a bit of trouble. He's got the Fairy Fire and the Sleight of Fist. will stop them from diving any further. But yeah, this pressure just relentless down bottom. But definitely, as you say though, 3.5 minutes in, the CS on ILTW, it's considering the situation, you have got to be happy that you're still able to hit the creeps and actually nearly taking down Mind Control there as he only just gets away.
Yeah, he has to wait for his regen to actually come down. GH also unhealthy. He is low though, and his Oracle has to run all the way back. It's fortunate that he's able to push them away here, because this would have been a big time where they can really get on top of him there and pressure him a lot. And yeah, I mean, Noah continued to do very well in this matchup. Rush the boots, plus the wand. He's now in a position where he shouldn't die, so he should keep his lead.
And if he does get going on, there's going to be time for people to TP in. Zayas can come in and look for the counter players, the Earth Spirit.
He's actually getting aggro. He gets a
with this haste ring, that should do it. I mean, Weehar's going to try and fly away with the Firefly. No one is out of mana, so no further nuke damage to come out from him. But yeah, solid stuff here from VP in this mid lane and the bottom lane. Despite those deaths, as I say, just this is a hard lane for VP to play into, but they're doing it smart. They're getting the farm for their Ember.
Yep, doing a good job with those lasts. With Mind Control, he's even trying to pick up a raindrop to deal with the bridge, because he's actually not last hitting well at all.
Hello.
He's just dead.
Alrighty.
Raindrop not saving you this time.
Top lane, VP, they're getting in aggro onto RMN.
Very nice.
Surge forwards. And they're going to have this kill. VP keeping it even here so far in the first few minutes of gameplay. 2-2.
Yep, we see that bottle from top from the Darkseer being passed off to Earth Spirit. We have bounty runes coming up in a few seconds, so they're going to look to at least get the 2 up top. And looks like Team Nigma will have control of those. No one continuing to do a good job in mid. Are they going to refill the bottle? Yeah, okay, they are. RMN refills Weeha's bottle as he TPs in.
Yeah, also going to be able to get those extra charges from the bounty runes spawning bottom. Top lane, pressure's going to be putting onto Miracle. They know with RMN coming over to mid, Miracle's a little vulnerable. He does still have the Rage and TP, so will have a way out if he feels the need to pop the 2 of them.
But the right move to make, as you said, because they see the Venge TP mid. ILTW this time. Doesn't look like he's got a way to play around it.
Ooh, the chains nearly did it. It's not enough though. The right click still coming in from GH. Top lane, Miracle turning to try and punch back into Rezo. Rezo will surge himself away. Gonna leave Zayas under the tower, but he's got to kick back onto the Lifestealer. He can step his way out of danger.
See that item build? Just the naked Midas coming out for our Lifestealer. Miracle is going all in for that one here. Picks up just a starting item, and then he's gonna have it. He almost has it done already.
Yeah, if you get away with it this quick, that's the dream. Not necessarily the dream for your teammates when you see your Lifestealer go to lane and cure straight up, but you're getting away with it. You're going to be very happy with that timing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 4 protect 1 for a Lifestealer, not your traditional 4 protect 1, so they really want to make sure that Miracle is a super farm beast as bottom. Getting aggressive again.
Just continuing to try and pressure ILTW as much as they can before he hits the 6. Won't be able to finish him off though, and Zayas, he's in with the counter play, is able to find the connection onto Mind Control, into the slow. ILTW is salving up, able to run back in, and with the nukes, the Slight Fist and the Purifying Flames, they secure themselves another kill on this bottom lane. Just doing a great job really just across the board of making sure that all 3 lanes here for VP are off to a fantastic start. Look at the farm across all 3 cores. It's pretty much perfect on all 3 cores of VP.
Yeah, and I like how they're doing this. I mean, it's very ILTW because I think he's one of the ones that originally started doing the build, just the slight chains. Even though he's versus a lane that can't proc his Flame Guard, he doesn't care. He's playing with Oracle. He just wants that max burst damage and that little bit of extra control to go for the kills. It's working. It's absolutely working down there. They've actually, they've won. I mean, they kind of won 2 out of the 3 lanes. Top lane kind of a trade, but it's very close. Yeah,
it's just the fact that, yeah, they've got 3 cores in a great place. Nigma, they're falling a little bit behind on that bottom lane with the farm and the Slaughter.
Yep, we're seeing no one. Weeha is starting to catch up to him again now. Once those levels build up on
See if they can get to play it.
Can he kick him under?
Kick him under. It's going to get a couple of tower hits in, but Weeha with the Firefly will be speed enough to keep his distance and even posturing very aggressively there, knowing that there's no further threat from the 2 of them.
I think no one got hit by a sticky stack right before he was looking to go in. I think he was up to 4 or 5 stacks.
So
I think he was scared. Yeah, he was scared to actually go in when the Earth Spirit did, it looked like. Yeah, it looked like they maybe had a chance, but a bit tough. See the mango tree coming out for the side of VP. Pretty good mango. They have a pretty good mango team. Everyone with some nukes. Ember always can use that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this hero Ember wants to be spamming the spells in the fights, but notoriously has a very small mana pool.
Oh, who found the Faded Brooch? It just says found by.
Someone will pick it up in a bit, I'm sure. Mind control.
Lots of rotations.
They're going to try and go from here. What sort of backups coming in from Nigma? It isn't going to be any. GH is also going to get caught out by the chains. With the 4 of them here, VP, some of this fantastic early CIS aggression that you love to see from the squad. It's coming out. Movement from No One secures themselves a second kill bomb.
Love that they're going to be this aggressive. That's what their lineup is really going to all be about, is fighting nonstop. Sure, they have to wait on Exorcism come mid-game, but once the Darkseer is starting to get online too, he's going to join the fray. He almost has max Ion Shell and has great heroes to carry it, with that Ember Spirit in particular. So yeah, very aggressive moves. Great start off these first 9 minutes.
He's going to seize an opportunity here to try for a freebie there. Nice flame break onto the Earth Spirit, knocks him back so he cannot roll away, but no one, he's going to go for the counterplay, popping the Exorcism, but the Firefly, it's enough for Weehar to get himself out of reach of the Ghost. No One's still trying to dive in. That final crit swarm isn't enough to get it.
What the?
He's going deep for this one, No One. He's got the Siphon, but it isn't enough as...
That was that's kind of a feed a little bit there.
Yeah,
he just went way too aggro.
I mean, that feels like the sign of a tilted mid, even though he shouldn't be tilted. He's having a great solid start, No One, but diving in like that, throwing everything in for a kill that you're not going to get, you can't make those plays.
No, that was, I mean, it's way too over. It's just over-aggression. It's because he popped Exorcism, and he's like, I need to make something happen with this Exorcism, but if he just backs up and farms, it's not that bad. Yeah, he just goes up and he literally just gives up a free kill. He didn't see the Venge rotating in, though, at first. He doesn't have ward coverage on that side.
Sure, but still he's taking tower hits.
Exactly. It's already such an aggressive position, so we'll get punished. We see instant smoke from Nigma as they're setting up for these runes, the bounty runes up top. Rezo, with this bottle, wants to try to claim it, but we'll get halted, and they might actually have the control for it.
They're going to be able to turn on him pretty easily here, dragging him back into the clutches of Miracle. We'll set up a kill for the Lifestealer. GH able to head up to the high ground and grab that bouncer. Been down bottom though. Punishment there for Weehar as VP, the 3 of them do get the jump on him. And even further down bottom, high control. He'll find himself a solo kill.
Yep.
Literally.
Yes. Slardar hits this level 6, level 7, you start posing full threat if anyone does show below. GH will get brought down from a rotation from Zayak.
A lot of back and forth here already. 7 for 7. Less than 1k in it. That's a close bit of back and forth so far. You really sort of see where the net worth varies in terms of balance. Nigma's lineup already starting to lead towards that. Just building all around this big old Miracle Lifestealer.
Yep.
As he's the one taking the lead here. And he's going to find an opportunity for another kill onto Zayat.
He has so many matchups that this Lifestealer is just God. This rage in this game is going to be really potent versus so many of these heroes. They just, they're majority magic damage. You look at their team, sure, Exorcism as well as the Sleight of Fist is that strong physical damage that they'll have in the mid game, but at the moment, you know, this Lifestealer is going to definitely reign supreme when he shows up.
Yeah, at least for VP, they've got, what, a couple of silences, right? So something that he's definitely going to have to watch out for in the fights, but at the same time, he's got the save. Swaps are going to be there.
Being grabbed again.
Mind Control's going to come in with a TP. He's going to look over towards Solo. Solo goes straight for the false promise on him. But Weehar's in with the lasso, and there'll almost certainly be enough damage to pop Solo after the false promise comes to a finish, as Nigma will manage to take him out.
So much action. 18 kills, 12 minutes, all focused around mid tower now. Miracle, as we said, gonna go for the armlet build. I think it's a really appropriate build this game. He has the methods of delivery.
Oh yeah,
so
he's ready.
Whenever you have this, you're all about fighting. Exactly. So I like that he's gonna go for that.
And this chase Zayat.
He's in trouble.
I mean, this is the thing with the bag. That's the Earth Spirit. We are each and every time. It's you can't escape him. You cannot roll away. If you've already used the kick, Weehar's always going to be able to close in above you and over you. So rolling away is never really an option.
See, no one he's going to be going for this Yule Scepter this game, as you tend to on Death Prophets. However, there are plays around it. They do have Venge versus this Death Prophet who's going to be going for it. You can swap him out of the Yules, so it's not that great of a actual saving thing. Same thing of Venge versus Oracle. Oracle's cast range on False Promise early, not the greatest, so repositioning is going to be a big one. I feel going to be playing out in the mid game here for no one to try to protect himself. We'll see that progress shortly, though, as they're still trying to, they really want to press forward and get this mid tower. See, even Zeiss is running toward the mid lane. They're all starting to actually run toward mid tower. It actually looks like 75 heroes for VP. They want this tower.
I mean, you can see as well, I'm sure.
Nigma's responding. They see everybody rotating in. They really want to hold this one as well.
No one's got to be careful with the cast, though. You know that GH is always going to be hunting for that Exorcism steal.
Yep.
Down bottom, RTW, they're going to be able to find the setup, but he's got the backup. Solo comes in straight away with the silence onto mind control. They'll turn and kill the Slider. They can go for more. He's diving in deeper. LTW is going to be able to get the chains onto the poor old bench. Silence as well, making sure the GH cannot come in with any counterplay. We are going to go for the lasso, but there's 5 heroes here ready to run him down. Zayat's had the control with the kick and the silence. More kills for ILTW now, starting to get this safe lane. Ember incredibly active early on.
And even though Nigma saw all this, they see with their wards, look at the ward placement. They see everybody rotating. My control overplays his hand a little bit. He's still very squishy, very fragile on this Slardar.
Yeah, he's falling behind.
Yeah, he really is. Just dies almost immediately. And they're utilizing this timing. Mid-game timing, early game timing. Mech is finished up on Darkseer. Death Prophet's super strong right now. This is very ideal right now for them to be doing this and pressing the issue for this tower.
Yeah, this tower is very, very nearly taken away. No one. I mean, at the moment, they're just trying to take it without committing the ghost. An extra TP returning to lane as Weehar's back in. I'm going to be able to get on top of him though with the chain. Zayat throws forward the silence. It catches out the Rubik swap from RMN, keeping Weehar safe. But the Slider Fist still brings him low. Aggressive Brandon by LTW is trying to dive in for this. No one committing with the Exorcism, pushing back RMN. RMN going for a swap on no one, trying to get him under the tower, but it ends up getting RMN killed off. They'll look over towards Mind Control as well. They're just splitting them up perfectly here, VP, forcing Nigma to the side in a situation where they just don't have the numbers. The chains come out again. Another Slider Fist. There's another kill for ILTW. He's going in. Remnant forward.
Baby.
ILTW just going crazy here. As this Ember, 6-1 and 8 at 15 minutes in, it just doesn't stop here from VP. As they're diving tier 3 towers at the 15-minute mark. ILTW, he's dropping the aggro tips onto Miracle.
Holy, I mean, that arcane rune on Ember, it really does wonders in these type of fights, these type of skirmishes, when you just start snowballing kills like that. And again, utilizing this timing. Darkseer mech, they have max ion shell, they have heroes that can use it.
Yeah, he's
they just run at him. Yeah, they're unable to really stop it because of how far behind, in particular, like Mind Control. Their real big frontliner besides Miracle, he is so far behind. I actually saw Mind Control, he looked like he was farming bottom, and then they're like, dude, we're getting dove way too hard. We actually need you to try to help us. He runs in and just dies immediately, so he gets set back even more. Great plays from VP so far this early game. Their calls have been on point. 17-11, setting themselves up for success.
I mean, there's some games with the VP squad where you can sort of just feel it from the first few minutes of play that, you know, they're in a very good place when it comes to the matchups, the lanes they've got. And this game, we saw it there at the beginning. All 3 cores up to a great position. And now that they've entered this early mid game, they're just making, everything's gone to plan. You know, they've drafted these 5 heroes. They've got exactly what they wanted out of the first pre-15 minutes of the game. They're going to be able to make the moves that they planned for when they came in with these heroes.
Yeah, and they're so mobile is the biggest thing I'm noticing. Everyone just getting there so fast. Ember, Earth Spirit, Darkseer Surge, Death Prophet, everyone just sandwiches there and gets together so quickly. Yeah, they're doing perfect job so far.
Oh, Zayat diving a little deep here, able to get the silence on the 2 of them. TPs are coming in. Zayat, I don't know if he's able to get out of this one. He's going to try with the roll. Actually doesn't get blocked off by Miracle, but the corrosive's on him. They've got the vision. As they'll dive in and will be able to claim the life of the Earth Spirit.
Has been denied.
Yeah, really still loving that aggression. Even though they do die up top, it's still a good aggressive move. They're just posturing themselves very well in this game. They need something to try to kind of bring them back here. So it looks like it's going to be a smoke, Mind Control. With Miracle, they're feeling a bit strong right now.
Oh, LTW. Whoa. He's back and he's back in. Silence. Oh, hang on. Is there any save? There is. Ironman comes into the last moment with the swap. Oh, of course, mean that Ironman loses his life, and there's the early sign.
They want to chase more.
ILTW, he hits hard now. He's got a full Deso done at 17 minutes as this Ember. He's in onto Mind Control. Mind Control trying to run. RTW is going to have the slight chains combo up again in a second and should be able to catch this. There it is. Locks him down. Solo's able to come in for the kill secure.
I mean, he's playing this Ember actually so damn well. I love this, like, I mean, now he's starting to get the build up of the Flame Guard, but like, just his slight chain usage so far has been insane. Their chase potential, just constantly being able to catch these heroes that, if they didn't have it, it would be tough because it's all on the Earth Spirit to really catch them, but the slight change is really making the difference. They're getting on these heroes over and over again.
Weehar's trying to skip the creeps, but he's on his own side, so no one in the neighborhood, and he's running. He's not going to make it away though. Mid lane as well. VP, they are just everywhere. And this build as well from ILTW, if he's able to pull this off, this is going to be just so destructive. This Deso into a straight AC that he's queuing up. No defensive items. He's ready to go. He knows that he's got the saves from his Oracle, his Darkseer. He just wants to cut through these heroes, which he's been doing excellently so far. 7-1 and 10. This Ember safe lane just continues to perform.
Yeah, and I think they're starting to realize magic damage on the side of Nigma isn't that high. Sure, it's like Fade Bolt and Bat Rider and some of these Ventrals, but it's mostly that physical damage. So if he gets this, they're super strong. And even with this Deso right now, they can look for Roche. They can just pop Ghost with that Deso. It'll be very difficult for Nigma.
Standing a little close here, but he's got the Force. GH. Even so, though, I mean, you've got to be careful how close you come to these heroes. We've seen with the reach that the Ember has.
Oh, God, full Greaves already, too. So Darkseer, I mean, if he gets hazed or anything up, if he gets open wounds, he has a lot of different ways to play around it now, too. That extra heal as well. And even look at this Death Prophet. He has Yules and almost Lotus Orb already done. So his armor, he's going to be good. He's going to have ways to protect himself, too.
They're just finding so many catches.
Just from lane to lane. Look at this.
They're all over the place, and no one, he's even looking for more. He's away from Arm, and he says, yeah, screw the support. Let's go and make Mind Control's life even more of a misery in this game, as they're hunting him down, bullying Mind Control out of the game as he's really falling down there. Bottom 4 net worth, and a few more deaths like that, he's going to be touching the bottom of this game.
He is not, he is not recovering very well at all after that laning phase. He's just getting bullied. No mercy by VP.
Yeah.
Getting these aggressive wards down now too. It looks like Nigma, they're expecting that Roche to come out, but they're actually looking to stay aggressive, look for aggressive moves on VP. Look, things are looking real good for them right now. Full map control up to this 20-minute mark with a very good lineup. And I think in the mid-game fights, and in these fights, if they do have a lead, you know, Lifestealer, his damage, it's not really the highest. He has to get enabled by that Slardar.
He's got it in his eyes. He's going to look at the backlines first, too. He's going to get on top of RMN, make sure there's no save potential. Miracle's got to go for the Rage TP. He's got it, and he is away. Nothing to cancel through that magic immunity.
Straight to Roche. Now they've got the timing with it. They forced heroes back. Nigma, there's no way they can test a fight here. Their actual team fight draft is, their draft isn't really about team fighting. It's about these small skirmishes and pickoff.
It is.
They've lost them all. Yeah, they haven't been able to actually take any of the fights versus VP at all.
Straight up so far, it's just been a demonstration of how VP, they've got a strategy that counters exactly, as you say, what Nigma wants to do when they run this Weehawk Bat Rider. This Bat Rider that we've seen just take over so many games against so many of the teams here. VP, I mean, as you do, right, you're playing against Nigma, you've got to have a plan against the Weehawk Bat if you're laying it through the draft. And so far, VP's plan and answer towards it has seemed pretty spot on. They've come in with a way that's making it very hard for Weehawk to do anything as the Bat.
And speaking of Weehawk, we see him go down here again, trying to do some shenanigans behind towers, and now also GH being chased. They have the catch too. Got another remnant to work with, but now out of mana, out of time.
They're just everywhere, VP. Yeah, this is.
I mean, look at these TP. It's constant, right? Everyone's just TPing. They've got their 2 tier 1s still up. They can just look to make all these aggressive moves, and I mean, it's looking picture perfect right now for them. 25-12. Very few mistakes. I mean, they're just. Mind Control just still has no game. He's having one of the rough ones. I think he's 1-8 in this game. How many times they've actually been able to punish him down on him? Yeah, 1-8-5.
It's been a rough one for him.
Yeah, and we mentioned how the Lifestealer, you know, he has this infest in the mid game. We're now really in the mid game, and I don't know. I think Slardar may just be getting the Blink Dagger now. Bat Rider didn't have his either at a time for them to utilize that either. So, yeah, he's going for the BKB. He feels like he needs it because of all this magic damage on VP. It's looking real hard for them here. Miracle, he's going to need some crazy cleanup inside of the fights. But they've already started, like we said, they've already started picking up the items to counter him. They already have this Lotus Orb on the Death Prophet.
And it just don't stop.
No, it does not.
It does not stop here from VP. Ferocious and everywhere across the map.
ILTW is screwing, aren't he? They see him, what's your damage?
I mean, he's probably like, we're gonna. It's starting to see a bit of a break in the army of VP here with Solo down. He is gonna buy back.
Okay, we are lasso.
He's got the control onto no one, but they haven't quite got the damage. No one's able to use up. Miracle, he's stuck on the front line. He's silent.
He can't get him.
He can't get a single spell off. The Resolution's able to run away. Only Solo falling in that fight. Everybody else kept alive. And now they're up to the high ground. And yeah, I think ILTW RTW, he picks up the Chrysalis instead of the AC, because he's like, I'm not even going to get the chance to finish an AC in this game. We are crushing them that hard.
Yep, and no one off to the high ground. He's full health again. Solo buys back, joins into the fight afterwards, even though he died at the start. Yeah, it's out of control here.
Yep.
Miracle, he can't do this one on his own.
No, not especially not as a life stealer. They needed those plays to go more favorably for them early on, and this is a game where the life stealer, it's pretty perfect, right? He got that quick Midas. It just doesn't matter at this stage. They're 10k down. VP just continuing to go at full power this game. All 3 cores just popping off. I mean, the whole team popping off.
I think that their lanes just ended up going better than I think Nigma expected, right? That Ember plus Oracle.
The way they played
the Ember dominated. He wasn't pressured almost at all, and they just were looking for kills. Look, 110 last hits. This is not a farming Ember. This is a killing Ember. He didn't really care after he got the first start. Once he got the level 5, it was just all about the frags and just shutting down mind control. Excellent play from that bottom lane for sure.
Let's see what Nigma can do here. They're going to try and come out with a smoke. See if they can catch someone off guard. Mind control with that setup.
Yeah,
what kind of jump can they get? VP are pretty close to one another. They can certainly return. Here's Noah.
So rich now.
Lead him with the yours. Turn for the sides onto RMN. In they go on the back lines. Mind control tries to jump with Miracle. They'll turn over towards Solo. He's able to get the false promise off him himself. They can't even kill the Oracle. Solo's going to be saved underneath the wall. Miracle caught out and surrounded. They kick him over with the boulder. As it's 2 down on Nigma. The rest of them just trying to desperately escape. But GH, there's no TP potential for him there. So many ways to cancel it. You can see there's Solo as well. He's keeping it cool.
He looks so serious.
He's in the zone.
I love it.
He knows that, this game ain't over yet.
I don't think I've seen VP play at this kind of style of just slamming since the old VP, when they were just dominating games. Like, it's 32 kills in 24 minutes. Like, or 25 minutes.
Yeah, VP's back.
Like,
they're back. If they can do more of this, they're going to be, they are a team to really be feared. If they can manage to consistently pull off this level of maneuvers in the games they play.
I just love how they're just relentless. Look at this, it's non-stop looking for kills here. Anytime that Nigma's trying to do any sneaky cutting waves, grabbing bounties, they're gonna pay. VP is not letting them gain away with any of these.
And it's getting rough for Mike. You see that he's nearly the lowest level in the game.
Yeah.
As well as nearly the lowest net worth.
And now we're full. I mean, look at the plethora of items. That Death Prophet has Lotus Orb Aghanims level 18 on top of Yules, with an Essence Ring thrown on top too. Some more survivability, sure. It's really Miracle versus the world here, and the rest of his other cores are just not really there for him.
Yep. And here we have it. VP, they're ready to hit back hard with the smoke themselves. I saw the smoke of Nigma just sort of go out with the sizzle. VP's is definitely going to hit with a bang if the last 26 minutes are anything to go by.
Just charging in, looking for a battle. They know how much stronger they are. They know that there's no way Nigma can take a real fight. GH, he spotted bottom.
He's trying to push these lanes out. Yeah. Trying to get that money for the Blink Dagger. He's so close. He's so close, and now he's going to be 200 further away.
To the next tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're just cleaning up the map now, VP.
Yeah, look, they constantly have mangoes buried in their bags too, because of that mango tree that we mentioned early on. Yeah, they're just not giving any breathing room for Nigma. Nigma unable to actually take any fight. Like we said, their team draft is just not really there, and VP with such a lead, it's just, they're going to make it look easy really here with this push.
High ground push they go. What's going to stop them? Where's the answer from Nigma?
Double blinks online also, so they have 3 blink daggers now on Nigma, but do they actually have the damage to bring anybody down with those?
Warman, he's going to die to a slide.
They go in the back line.
Some respect from RTW as well, letting no one finish that one over for himself. They're going to look for Miracle and Mind Control. They tried to commit. Change around to Miracle. He's dragged back. He's dead. He doesn't have buyback. It's a triple kill for no one. You're probably going to see the G's being dropped soon. As this game, 37-13, just 27 minutes in. A second set of rounds going down. No Miracle Lifestealer for 40 seconds.
It's got to be over. 2 sets of racks. The Lifestealer solo core. Not a whole lot of ways back. the game for Team Nigma here versus VP.
I mean, you know, VP will be more than happily, you know, play this one out there.
Feels good.
Yeah, this game's going to be getting the adrenaline going here for the squad.
Yeah.
This is, you know, this is what they strive for as a team. This is the Dota that VP excels at.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing really is having, I mean, the way that they played around their draft, but just the way that they set up these lanes. Like the Ember bottom did better than I expected by a good amount. Death Prophet did amazing versus Bat Rider mid, and they've just been making all these smooth, natural moves just from lane to lane, just very hyper aggressive too, the way they forced the issue, right? We saw it was like, oh, 10, 12 minutes in, even though there's wards up and Nigma sees everything, VP still won 2 back-to-back 5-0 fights. Just because of the way that their lineup works and the way those lanes did progress.
Time to continue the cleanup here for VP, top lane.
Rez was like, hello, that's a Bat Rider with a BKB, but he's got backup coming near. Can he find him? Let's go for the vacuum. He sees the creeps following, sees the creeps in.
He's going to be able to set this up. He's got the BKB and the blink, so should be able to play it safe and TP out of here. With the BKB.
He's trying to hold the BKB.
He's going to need to pop it. There we go. BKB and a TP away, and he'll be fine. He'll live another day. But this tower on the top lane, the same cannot be said, as VP will take this without any contest from Nigma.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
How do you fight? You're gonna need some type of miracle here
Dire's
on Team Nigma. They have to get some repositioning to get some number advantage somehow versus VP. Grab them into the base, swap into the tier 4 or something like that, because they're just too far behind to really take just any type of real heads-up fight.
Yeah, they're smashing these fights, and they're not even spending all their money. No one holding on to 4K gold. He's ready to straight up just grab a BKB. Get himself into an even safer spot for looking to siege the high ground, take the final set of racks.
Yeah, they're in such a good spot. How long do we have on Roche? About 30 seconds. If they want to be super safe, they just play around this area, wait for that to spawn, force Nigma's hand to fight around the Roche pit, and then they should be pretty good. As long as they don't split up. It's the only way that, I think that's the only way that VP can start to lose their lead is if they start splitting away from each other. So just stay as a clustered 5 around Roche pit. That's what they're going to continue to do, and Nigma gets 2 bounty runes, but yeah, not what they were looking for.
Yeah, you see a Miracles build as well. He knows the only sort of chance of getting back in is if he's able to pop the rage and actually kill someone. So he's going full on for this super hard-hitting build. The Deso into Daedalus. But I mean, even then, it's just the items. You look at these.
So much armor on everybody now.
They've got plate mails all over the place.
34 on one hero. 28 on another. I believe Death Prophet's pretty close to that too, sitting at like a healthy 24.
Yeah, full Shiva's guard now on Reza.
Yeah. Good itemization, good preparation. Roche spawns. Easy cleanup here for VP. Nigma they're just gonna try to get the most out of the lanes in the meantime, push them out as far as they can. But really struggling.
Yeah, an easy Roche here for VP.
1 and 11 on mind control, level 13. He's just, I mean, at this point, of course, he just can't catch up because you have to catch up through kills and everything as a Slardar, but man, they really made sure that he did not have a game.
Yeah, they just crushed him.
They really did.
But it was, you know, we say in a lane that, you know, it should have, I feel on paper, gone a little better for the Slardar.
It does feel like it, yeah.
The setup they did have down there.
They just got a little bit, I mean, I guess I got a little bit outplayed here by LTW as well, Solo.
Yeah, no, the play from VP just all across the board. It's been outplay and a half. VP this game.
Just playing to their strengths, playing to that aggression. I see, you know, CIS teams with their darks here sometimes, you know. These guys, they know what they're doing with this type of aggro setup here in the mid game. Nigma smoked again. Trying to find some type of split off here. Trying to catch somebody away from the 5-man unit, but VP knows. They just got to stick together.
I'll see what Nigma can do here. They've struggled to vend on the other 2 lanes. Can they pull off anything different on this top one?
They have a repair kit at least to stall it for some slight moments here, but level 20 on the Death Prophet.
They're going to get the swap in on the Ember. He's got the so they're only going to be able to take him down the ones. Can they do it a second time? Of a lost RMN. ILTW's back up.
And Miracle's just incinerated.
No buyback on the lifestealer. This should be the cleanup from VP, pushing them back towards the fountain.
1k crits with those sights, even going into the fountain there, letting the ghost kind of tease him a bit.
Oh, the ghost actually nearly getting we are. Has to be careful. It's top lane. It will be theirs. VP pushing on. Nigma still holding on. in this game, almost certainly discussing what the plan's going to be for game 2. As this game won 40-13, 20k up VP, as they border on finishing this final set of racks. We are trying to step in and slow them down, but there's no pushing back this squad right now.
And he's getting gone on immediately. BKB will be popped. He's trying to push Science into the fountain, won't be able to.
Gage as well, seeing if he can bait them into the fountain. But not something that VP is going to be falling for. And they'll tap out. GG is called. VP here take aim one against Nigma, and yeah, VP on fire. This is Virtus.Pro. This is the VP that you want to see.
I miss this VP. That looks nice. I like seeing no one running around just killing everybody. Same with ILTW. They look super comfortable with their heroes, super comfortable with their draft, very comfortable with what they're playing against. Did great in the lanes. I actually
Dire team pick.
The thing, me at least, like the strategic part of Dota is the
Virtus.Pro
best part.
Dire
It's
team
not just
pick.
about the watching the games, like the way they teams draft, the way they approach the draft. It's the best part for me. You mentioned chess. It's pretty much the same thing. You know, you're just trying to outsmart the opponent, staying 3 moves ahead of him. And we can see the draft right now. So
10
Doom,
seconds.
Oracle,
No
gone.
excuses this time.
No
Well,
excuses.
also,
Yeah.
man, it's so crazy to
5
see
seconds remaining.
2 of the
Virtus.Pro
heroes that you
turn to
basically said you
battle.
thought got impacted in the biggest way still getting first phase consistently.
You know, I'll believe it when I see it consistent. Darks
Yeah.
here. I initially said that I thought these heroes were heavily impacted, but I also didn't think the changes would come into play. Because what's going to happen, I think, is eventually
10
these
seconds remaining.
premium heroes. They're going to keep getting picked, and then people are going to eventually find
5
out the counters to them,
seconds
and they're going to realize there's just better heroes in the pool over time. So I think teams are going to play what they've been practicing more than they're going to play what might necessarily be slightly better. Because if you've played the hero 20 times in the last month, you're going to play it better than any hero in the game that you've played only once. So Phoenix, I think, still does its job in the game. It's just
Yeah,
the
for
laning
sure.
stage issue is the only thing you're looking at now. They've nerfed Phoenix's laning stage like 3 or 4 patches in a row now.
It's
kinda like
Eventually,
what-
it's going to be
yeah.
enough.
It's like one of those things where fundamentally they're still checking the same boxes inside of the
Exactly.
game, so it still makes sense. Let's talk about though what got kind of thrown together on the side of VP, because Wisp obviously has been one of the heroes that we've needed to pay the most attention to today, and I think we're probably going to end up
10
paying the most
seconds
attention to
remaining.
tomorrow as well. But I wouldn't necessarily put a Baden inside those ranks. So why are we seeing
5
that in the first
seconds
phase?
remaining.
Specifically with Wisp, right? It's almost certainly being a Wisp carry with the bad end support.
Most likely, yeah. We've seen more and more of this. They're shifting towards that position 1. Good ban coming out from Team Nigma. They have Phoenix and Undying, so they need to ban out Gyro. It's just that strong of a hero against both of these. And this is huge amount of sustain coming out from Virtus.Pro. Overcharge, Abaddon providing shield and heal. Like, I don't think you can pick something like AA on side of Nigma. You are very locked in. Like, you might push Phoenix towards position, let's say 3 probably, but then you still need something to control these heroes. You have Phoenix to buy a Spirit Vessel possible this game against the IO, but
Abaddon makes that not
Abaddon
very
just
good.
makes it really bad to play into.
Yeah, I think the lineup for Virtus.Pro so far is just screaming, hey, we're going to throw all of our stuff on one guy. Gyro and Troll are super good to enable that, because oftentimes the problems these heroes have is they don't want to get
Dire
initiated
team
onto because they could just get bursted full to 0, or in general, like, standing their ground is the one issue they really have. So giving them the IO Abaddon behind really makes sense. Like, if you're envisioning how they end the game, Troll and Gyro are great high ground siegers, just base pushers in general when you have backliners
10
like the Abaddon and IO. And even though IO, we talked about it being a carry with the Abaddon, you could absolutely make you know, IO a 4 or Abaddon a 3. You have options. IO could be a mid. We've also seen like IO carry 2-position Gyro, where in the laning stage it pairs with the Abaddon, and then later on you're tethered with 2 cores. I like the overall approach
10
that
seconds
both teams
remaining.
are taking so far. With the IO Abaddon, you either need a hero that just
5
basically kills
seconds
everybody at once, so the one target can't be preserved, which is in this case Spectre, or other heroes that just take long, sustained fights that eventually wear you down, and Morphling Void do make sense for that description. I would come up with Slark being another one, Anti-Mage.
Or Virtus.Pro.
No, for Team Nigma, because they lack mobility and stuns with their 2 supports right now, or at least 2 heroes. So I think it needs to come from their cores.
Both of these teams don't have any kind of stun right now, so it's very easy to sneak in. Something like a Slark looks like a good Slark game for both of these teams, I would say. There's still Ember Spirit's gone, possibly a good Void Spirit Storm game. Like, Team Nigma needs to pick something that protects the egg, something like an Axe, but then again, if you in the laning stage against the Abaddon, you can just purge off the Fire Spirits, depending what role is Abaddon gonna play in this one.
Yeah.
But you need low cooldown ability that, you know,
I think
just controls
Mirana
the
is
team
like
fight.
way too good for Virtus.Pro right now against Undying Phoenix. I think if they're planning to put 1 position IO with 5 Abaddon, you can just do like Mirana Beastmaster as like a second round. Maybe not Beastmaster specifically, but I'm just thinking of like Mirana plus a setup stun. I just talk about Mirana because it kills the egg. It also, the Undying Tombstone, the zombies all go away when you go invis. So it's also nice for that. It kills the Tombstone. And then also Moonlight Shadow is super good when the opponent's light on stuns because it's just such a good disengage. And it's really important that they get some sort of disengage because of the Phoenix Egg as well as the Undying Tombstone. Once those abilities are used, and if Team Nigma doesn't win the fight in that case, or in that time period, then their heroes are much less scary, honestly.
Yup, Clock. Let's talk about why we actually do see that here. Does that start to fill any of those roles? Not necessarily something that I expected to see
Or
here.
Phoenix, maybe?
I don't possibility.
Clockwork.
Like, I would prefer, I mean, you don't see it yet, but
5 seconds
Clockwork
remaining.
as a position 3, like, just for me at least, never stood out as a great hero. You do so much more from position 4. You can get the farm, and when you're playing him as a 3, you're missing from a lane, you know something's going on. So also you can, I mean, in this kind of scenario, if that's going to be Clockwork 3, position 4 Phoenix will be in that lane instead of Clockwork, so Clockwork will be playing from the fog most of the time, so you need a hero that's gonna get farm eventually, otherwise you're just gonna end up with like 2 position 4s and the position 5, which is not good.
And we'll talk for anyone who's just waking up right now, maybe missed some of the changes. We'll talk about how Clock actually did change, but when we do look at the Wind Ranger here, you're talking about Mirana. Mirana obviously gets on top of the egg, and then also it does have
5
extra game against some of the heroes in the lineup that Nigma is bringing. How do you feel the Wind Ranger does slot in?
It's basically a Mirana that's only really for herself, but she also sets up the ganks herself. So like Mirana would be better disengaged for the entire team, but would need another hero to actually set up the engagements, while Wind Ranger is good disengaged for herself, but then sets up the engagements alone. So it opens up their hero pool in the offlane a little bit more, which I don't mind. They do go the Beastmaster, so I thought it was going to be Beastmaster Mirana specifically, but they went for the Wind Ranger instead, more of an independent support in that regard. She's going to do her job, which is completely irrelevant to the team. Like, the team's gonna let her set up ganks. She's gonna be looking to basically be a mobile ward. That's something you can look to do with a support when the opponent lacks disables. You can kind of just play their side of the map, and since they're predominantly slows, since a hero like Wind Ranger can just run away, the mobile ward factor will be a huge deal for the Vision. So they've got the Hawk, they've got the Spirits, they've got Wind Ranger to scout out. I do like what Virtus.Pro's doing here, but I have said Drow's one of the scariest carries right now. I'm worried about this Beastmaster's laning stage because of the Undying Drow.
That was actually exactly what I was going to ask, and I kind of overheard the conversation that you were having this morning. I wasn't actually in it, but you were basically singing the praises of Drow, saying it is like the hero to look at right now.
Drow Ranger is the hero that, even though you played so many times against it, you still don't expect this amount of damage coming out in short period of time. And when you're sieging the tier 3 towers, if she's in a bad spot, like if you're losing the game with the Drow Ranger, just defending a tier 3 tower could make a whole lot of difference. And they don't have the best heroes to just get on top of the Drow Ranger here. Like, they don't have anyone to, you know, just jump in, something like a Slark, PA. They might shift things around, so I just want to see what Nigma thinks it's going to be their last hero. Which position is it going to be?
I have a feeling Virtus.Pro is going to pick like Void Spirit here. It's the #1 contender for me. They banned out the Prophet, which would have been great. I played against no one's Prophet. I just want to say right now, that guy freaking carried the shit out of that game. I was like, holy crap, who? I didn't check ranks prior to the game, and I'm like, who is this freaking Prophet? He's ranked 3. I'm like, oh, okay. He's insane. I think they're pretty much putting their entire plan is. It has an idea to it, right? They're going to split the map. They're very mobile. They can get all of their heroes to the same place at once. But now, like that, the hero that ties it all together. They don't have the win condition yet for Virtus.Pro. So Nature's Prophet would have done fine with that. Now that I think about it, Void Spirit might not be that great. Maybe they do need a more carry-esque mid. Is there a carry-esque mid that goes on Drow? That's the question.
Ember is gone.
Yeah, Ember's gone.
That's a good ban. I mean, I'm still fine with the... I don't know. If they want to get something like more tower damage, what do you get? Do you just get something like a Dragon Knight?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dragon Knight into Undying
Well, Tiny's
Phoenix.
Still in the pool. Like, he is kind of a...
I think it has to be a mobile hero. Really? The Undying Phoenix, huh? Okay.
It's just a hero
like
that
Tiny here.
closes the gap, bursts him down. He can toss Clockwork out of the cogs. And, like, Tiny IO as a combo, it's still insanely strong.
I
10 seconds.
want to
remaining.
learn from this game, because this game, now that I really feel like
5
I've seen the whole
seconds
draft
remaining.
play out, I have played Tiny into this kind of thing, and if he blinks in and doesn't immediately kill somebody,
Choose your hero.
like imagine as a Tiny, you're going to be inside of a tombstone, there's going to be clockwork, there's going to be a drow hitting you, you're not moving. Like you're literally
It's a
not
lot
going
of
to
slow. Like
you're not
Drow
going to
range,
move.
it's a sick lineup from Nigma. You have ton of slow. You have good ways of protecting the egg and the tombstone. I think level 10 talent on Drow Ranger, Gust 50% blind slow. You should definitely go for it.
From my understanding of these
50%
lineups,
mischance
I
on the
think Team Nigma is very heavily favored here, but that's under the idea that
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
because it ass Tiny game.
I mean, they have ways of protecting the Tiny once he goes in, but it's a lot of AoE slow and a lot of AoE control from Team Nigma. Like, just Drow Ranger with the multi-shot, Viper, you're not gonna be able to move, and these heroes, like, need to reset, go in and out a
that's
couple
what
of
Tiny
times
struggles with.
the
is it likes to
Baton and
blink
IO.
combo, leave.
Odds are in favor of them. Analysts in favor as well. When we were looking at the draft, one of the things that you said was we need to see a win condition. We ended up getting Tiny. Whether or not that's going to bear fruit, we're about to find out as we throw it over to the casters and see game number 2.
Thank you very much, Rich. Yes, looking forward to this one, as we'll see if Nigma can sort of swing back after that rough game one that they had against VP. VP coming in at a very fast pace in first game. The same sort of thing looks to be what they're aiming for here in game 2 again, VP. Is it going to work, though?
Looks like they have to play fast. I don't know. This one, I'm feeling pretty concerned for them. I feel like Nigma this time has a really scary draft that also can fight as a team. I think that's what they were really lacking in the last game, is actually just team fight rather than just single target. This time, they've got a plethora of AoE, just great, better lanes overall too, and they actually have proper win conditions. Like, this Drow can actually get very strong this game. I don't know. Nigma's who's their carry? On the side of VP, their carry, right? Is it an IO
We're
carry?
going to find out. Is it IO carry? Is it Abaddon carry? Is it Tiny safe lane?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It looks weird, and it looks really tough to execute versus
Sure.
this. Like Tiny last pick. I've seen this so many times before. Like these teams, and we talked about it at TI with a bunch of the players too. Playing into Phoenix alone is tough as a Tiny. It's just going to be a hard game. You don't kill somebody, you're stuck in the egg. Exactly what you're saying. Throwing them, dying too. It doesn't look like this end all be all. So I think they have to just get ahead and stay very ahead on the side of VP and just kind of snowball and just be able to kill heroes over and over again. Otherwise, I feel like just the Nigma draft, just from the nature of their draft, is just going to kick together, and their team fight is going to be way stronger than what VP has.
So, as we can see, it is indeed going to be ILTW playing the carry IO. No one is still going to take the Tiny mid against that Viper. We'll see how that goes, as that could definitely be a lane where We Are is able to start bullying the Tiny pretty heavily as the levels come in.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how they do. I feel like if they don't come out ahead in the lanes and they have if they start falling behind at all in the early mid game, I feel like there's no way they ever take a fight. So like I said, I think they have to just really press the issue forward here, be super aggressive, get a lead, and don't lose your lanes. I mean, it's tough. It's gonna be a hard one, but they do have some good heroes in lane in particular to be able to do that. Science ready, pre-skilling. He has the win run. He uses it immediately right away.
The battle begins.
And Nigma, they'll bring 3 heroes up top to try to secure the rune. Won't get it though. Rezo does get that one. Solo. He's actually doing some work up here.
It's trading quite nicely here into Miracle and GH. As they run down the Drow, Miracle
The shield's
should
gonna
be...
pop, actually.
Ooh, it's going to be close.
One more hit.
Can't quite get it. Unless he wants to... Oh, he's got the shield up again. He's
He's
going
got
to
a fairy fire,
He's
though.
diving with this one.
Oh, he did it fairy fired. Okay. I think it might have actually saved him if he did use it, but the damage from the tower instantly popped the shield. He probably expected to take one more hit or something like that. So, wow, they actually get the kill.
Oh, and the aggressive tips here
Again?
from VP there.
That's twice now. ILTW tipped him before last game, too.
Straight from the off there. First blood, and that's it there. They're getting in.
I think Weeha's going to be tipping no one a lot this game, though. I have a feeling after this mid lane, because this does not look fun for a Tiny.
No, this is one of those lanes where you're very viable to being tilted if you're playing into the Viper.
Just a couple a couple hits just build up from the poison attack, and you're just very slow base hero. 0 armor as well, so you take a lot of harassment from it all. His last hits, though, that's the one thing. Tiny, for the first few levels, does have a base damage advantage, especially with the tree. But like we said, it's really going to be all about those early lanes, in particular from VP, to set themselves up if they do want to have a fight. And this is a bit unique. It's a core Undying, too. Didn't get to point that one out, but yeah, Mind Control is playing Undying core. I think we've seen, I don't think I've seen it in official games, but I've seen players streaming it. I know Seb was playing a lot of the core Undying when it first got changed. Just the fact that you're able to actually utilize your ult a little bit better now as a core is one of the big reasons. Level 2 on RMN.
There gets the grab onto Solo with these cogs.
They have the Orb of Venom as well. Soul Rip, yeah, just crazy amount of damage.
Yeah, they've got to be careful giving away these early kills to the bottom lane of Nigma, as this clock Undying definitely feels like a lane that could snowball against these heroes.
And it's a Undying versus 2 strength heroes.
Yeah.
The IO as well as the Abaddon. Abaddon does not have fun versus Undying when he's playing versus him in lane. It's one of the, you know, you just can't trade hits because he reduces your strength down, you don't hit him back hard enough. Same thing for IO. I mean, this is an interesting approach. Seeing how those lanes are progressing. The Tiny, he's actually doing quite well.
Mid lane.
Yep.
Yeah, no one's going to be pretty happy with these.
That base damage advantage really playing in, and he's got the early bottle, so the sustain is going to be there. Yeah, he's doing good. Now, level 3 hits, though. This is where the Viper starts really able to just orb walk you and push you out a bit.
It sort of becomes impossible to approach the lane if we are able to hold it in a good place. Top lane, Rezo, tired. Fairy Fire comes out, and it will keep him alive.
All right.
As Miracle's able to get away.
They're doing great up here, though. Look at this, 9 and 7 on the Beastmaster. A couple of those are probably some board denies, but they're doing some good work up there versus the Drow to shut her down. That's what I mean, they need to come out ahead in their lanes, like we're saying. Bottom, though, is going to be really tough. This IO is not getting it any real time to last it pretty much anything, as this Undying has 9 denies, 10 denies.
Oh yeah, Mind Control just holding the lane perfectly there.
I mean, he just steals damage from them, right? Because they're both strength heals. Look at this IO's base, 42, because he's missing 12 strength. How do you last it?
You don't.
Solo, again, getting caught in the cogs. They have some extra heals for him. He will be okay. But yeah, this lane is going to be really tough for ILTW to keep himself getting those last hits. Just, yeah, base damage advantage, animation advantage. And as we see, Viper starting to take over mid.
Yeah, he's starting to rack up on the denies now, being able to push no one away. Still, though, I think, you know, no one keeping his cool quite nicely in this lane.
Sure.
You know, he's able to be in a position now as well where the wave is going to push in on him. We'll see if that does leave the opportunity for Weehard to start diving tower, just to continue to orb walk him out of it and away from it all. There we go, as we enjoy this pause. Looks like Rezo also taking a real life pause there.
Yeah.
Not moving in any sort of capacity, as RTW, of course, pressure on him this game to perform as the carry IO. And
oh, I mean, look at him. He's like, I'm laning versus Undying as IO. Oh, God, eyebrow rub.
Yeah, you don't blame him for having a headache.
No, definitely
against
not.
This.
It's going to be a really tough. I feel like it's going to have to be somebody rotating to kind of bail them out of this lane bottom. Or if they run out of mana in particular, which we are seeing. Undying's out of mana, so it's awkward. I feel like we have to look at those couriers to ferry some extra mana region for them to keep their pressure apply. Because now when they get turning, this Undying's decay is going to wear off in a second. So yeah, Mike will either bring something out or he needs to go heal. Top.
So Zayat trying to get in a little aggro on his own, and Miracle and GH, you've got to be careful when that run comes to an end. You'll dive very quickly to these 2 heroes. Lots of slow and control to make sure that Miracle can keep hitting you on the way out. You get back in on to GH.
Okay, there you go.
All right, Rezo just able to walk up between the 2 of them and kill up the Phoenix.
Yeah, Orb of Venom, they're actually paying off. Plus that Boar slow is enough, and now it's Shackle.
Look at the Shackle.
Look at these slows, look at this. 188 movement speed, the Boar plus the Orb of Venom, it's enough.
All right, Rezo with the double. Iron Man's going to come in with the TP rotation as he looks to try and get the trade kill onto Rezo. Rezo attempting to run away. Zayat's trying to tank some of the battery assault here, but GH swoops in. Fires pop to the Shackle. Zayat, he catches 2 of them. That's going to save Resolution. Gets Master out of there. Nice play from Zayat.
Oh, look at all these juicy last hits that Miracle's missing, too. 2 denies likely to happen. GH will at least take one of them, but a couple creeps that he did end up missing there. Nice aggressive play. Uh-oh, no one.
See if he's going to be able to run away from this. He's not going to be able to do Mind Control. Sweeps across from the bottom lane, even allowing no one to die to the poison, making sure Weehard It's the benefit from that kill.
Caught between a rock and a hard place, right? Poor Tiny. Solo with ILTW. These Arba Venoms in the side lanes. Look at mind control too. He's just like, okay, reapply the slow. Oh, didn't hit him with the reapply slow. And can he actually catch up to him now? He cannot. Ooh, gets a hit, but nope. Some trades though, pushing him away. Arba Venom. Look at it go. And look at no one go too. Just, I mean, he started out great, like we said, but those levels for the Viper are now level 6.
He's not getting totally bullied away from the lane though. Sure, he did die that once, but he's still able to get creeps mid.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, coming into this matchup, you know it's going to be very tough as a Tiny.
Yep. Oh, mind control. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice trading going on there. He's 16 decay stacks. With this bottle, though, the sustain is there for this IO to now finally start recovering his lane. They can push them away. They can actually out-sustain the Undying plus the Clockwork now down here. Mind control will be pushed away, and ILTW, he will be happy. He'll be able to breathe and stop rubbing his eyebrows as he's up to all the way 27 last hits. He's recovered really nice in these last few moments.
On top lane.
The Boars, they'll get one of them.
Yeah, Rezo heading to 5, wants to... Yeah, 6 is about to be there for Miracle, so he's going to be punching back very hard.
Early move. I think this is dictating how much he's struggling in the mid. He wants to try to make an aggressive move. The mini shackle, is it enough?
As TP's coming over though, this could be punished. Miracle, and he's going to be fine here as Weehaw comes in with a TP rotation in reaction.
Uh-oh.
And we're starting to see already these moves that VP are going to try and make are going to be responded to pretty easily from Nigma
and
with the heroes they have.
It feels forced, right? Because he just has nowhere to go. His mid lane is impossible for him to do anything. So he's like, all right, maybe I can make an aggressive move top. Weehaw is the easiest TP in the world up there. Now no one, level 5 versus a near level 8 Viper. And we were talking about how their laning phase, I mean, for me, it feels like it has to go pretty well for them. And that's going to slow them down a lot. A Tiny that gets shut down this much. He's bottom 4 net worth. He's below his Abaddon already at this point. And look, he feels like he just has to constantly making some moves.
Yeah, he's got to go all in. It's the only way.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But yeah, this game is definitely a bit of a minefield for the Tiny.
Yeah, and it's not, like I mean, it was a last pick Tiny, like we said.
Yeah,
the draft
they wanted to play it.
They wanted to play it, but it's not an easy game for him to really do a whole lot here. Maybe he can get a kill. Nope, GH has raindrop and stick. So now this Viper really will start catapulting ahead, level 8, like we said, versus level 5 Tiny.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's going to be a lot up to those other cores. The IO and the Beastmaster have to kind of carry this one now, as I mean, your mid Tiny is just, he's out of it for a while.
It's rough. It's definitely rough. On which core are you looking towards? I mean, as we say, Tiny, it's a tough game to just play the hero conceptually against the powers that Nigma have. What hero on VP's lineup can have a good game this match?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure, honestly. I feel like it's just tough. Maybe the IO, depending on how this mid game goes, but I'm seeing them kind of struggle and once the team fights start going. He does finally get the kill, though. He's very persistent.
I mean, he has to be, right? You're not sitting mid, you're not farming against this Viper. He's got to make plays, no one, and he does find that opportunity to do so there.
Finally does get him a kill, moves himself up, but he's not farming. He's gonna have a tough one. Mind control, TPing in to defend the tower. He's got the slow on Rezo. So Rezo will be able to get out.
On mid lane, no one.
Weehaw.
Get some setup onto Weehaw. Weehaw, can he escape this? The Sunray, he's gonna be saved solo, and no one will go down. And that is the worry for VP. There's the big potential for that to happen time and time again now. Attempted plays from solo and no one going in and just not being able to sustain through this turnaround damage that Nigma have. They can just sit back. The combination, this early magical just damage over time between the heroes like the Viper and the Phoenix, it just shreds through these heroes trying to make moves.
Oh, maybe they can find mind control with the relocate. This should be able to be a kill that they can find here finally too. So I think this kind of shows what they have to do. It's all about outnumbering. I feel like if they're ever on like even number footing, it's going to be super hard for them to actually take any fight. Like we mentioned, great team fight lineup, and now with the lanes the way they went, Nick going to have a pretty big advantage coming out of this one. But I think if they can do that, they can start to trickle back in this one. They just have to keep playing around the Tiny, playing around these relocates and roars. but still going to be very hard as everyone's buying raindrops. You know, they're all just getting tanked up for Nigma, so they don't get die to the combo. They're going to try to go for that route.
This will be interesting to see what VP do to play out from this position. As it's not an easy one.
Nope, it's so
game,
low.
Definitely a challenge for VP here. But you know, from the draft, it was a self-inflicted challenge.
It was.
They didn't make this easy for themselves with the picks.
Nope.
So, you know, maybe just wanting to step up the difficulty here for game 2.
Is under attack.
I mean, it really does seem like that. This, the tiny mid, the panel said it immediately. Uh-oh. And then they get picked with the Viper mid. He's not even level 7 yet at this near 11-minute mark. He's really struggling. And we are seeing the IO still going for the Dominator, although it's an item that's gotten reworked recently. Last night, in fact.
It's down bottom. Zayas able to find the Shackle connection. Reza's coming over as well. Does have the roar.
They've got good numbers here.
They're going to be able to win this one. As We Are and RMN cannot deal with this 4-on-2. I mean, as you say, VP, they're finding these opportunities to come in and outnumber Nigma.
Yep. Have to play aggressive, especially when Enigma is starting to overstep their bounds there. Miracle's still free farming. Same thing up on top. We see My Control is pushing it, but at least they get something on the board there. And they will have relocate back available now too. So if he does want to look for plays with the Tiny, again, all about the numbers. If they can look to catch people off guard.
Straight away, smoke from VP.
Dire are scanning.
They've got to try and ramp up this speed. They're playing with Mind Control. He's already starting to get back.
He's got max Tombstone already, so if they don't kill him right away, the fight could definitely look to be quite a disaster if those TPs do come out. But they're able to farm during the entirety. That's the one thing. It's like IO is like Spectre, right? You know, if we relocate, you're farming the entire time during all of this one in the jungle, and you can just join in whenever they do find an opportunity. My Control will reveal himself for a moment there. That's where no one's like, okay, let's see. Can I find something here? But yeah, TP responses are coming now. It's going to be tough if VP does want to get aggressive here.
Yeah, as soon as the preparations start to be made.
Yeah. They have to know this preparation's coming too. They're actually relocating
They want to commit for this, but as you say, Tombstone's going to be set down. Mass TP's coming in from Nigma as everybody responds to this. ILTW is even going to get back away. He's not. He's out. They'll lose Zayas as well. Solo's going for the TP away. If they got anything to capture, they do. RMN in with the hook shot. And the struggles of VP in this game certainly shown that that was such a high-risk play.
And I mean, they're trying to force it, but you know, look, we're saying it, like, you know what's going to happen if you do try to force the issue there. They're just going to TP Tombstone. There's no way you can win a fight there. Even if you have numbers, it's under a tower under these two abilities that kind of counter your lineup very heavily. Immediate smoke. They want to try to catch someone who split up. No one. He's spotted. He gets slowed for a second.
He's going to be able to hold back the three of them there with the Avalanche. That'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Stops them coming up to the high ground, and no one's able to live to see another day.
Wait, get the setup there, and then immediately My Control. He'll park himself in front of this tower again. Tombstone should be available any moment. So again, if they do want to get aggressive and look for this tower here, which is kind of low, it's gonna be risky. But it does feel like, I mean, it feels like they're feeling like they're forced the way that they're making their moves around the map too. Nigma just overall just feel like they have this much calmer posture. Prepared for the fights now though.
Gotta get a good wraparound on bottom. No, comes in from the side. We are going to start turning, build the poison up onto Noah, but a combo, they catch them underneath the tower.
All right, nice move.
That's a sort of a second time on that bottom lane where RMN and We Are have been punished for pushing out as just the two of them.
Yeah, and it's the moment that they saw the two heroes top, right? I think they saw the Undying. I think they saw the Phoenix there afterwards for a second, so they know, okay, we have numbers again. We said all about the number game. VP playing it pretty nicely when they do see heroes split away. Nigma have to be a bit careful about those type of mistakes.
Especially as the Viper, despite We Are strong start in mid, this very much is a hero, right? A few deaths and your game can come to a real slowdown as this hero.
Absolutely.
Patience, look at this. With a bit of the bait.
He's really tanky though.
He's incredibly tanky. Tombstone's going to be dropped down and Mark Control is not running at them. Zayas He's out of there.
Oh, Core Undying, look at him go. He can actually hit people.
No one. He's got the backup of Solo, but you're right. Mind Control just getting some big old revenge for what they're able to do in game one. The bullied has become the bully.
I love, Undying is actually really satisfying to hear to watch now. When you can actually see him hit people with Flash Golem, it's just like, oh, full damage amp, and you're slowed to the point of 100 movement speed. Yeah, no way they can burst him. 2,000 plus HP when he gets the ulti off.
Yeah, he's having a great game. Hey, second highest in net worth Mind Control. And they just can't go on him.
No,
you cannot go on this Undying, in particular when he is near his tower. Even when he wasn't, I guess he was still running them down, the two of them.
I think it's just risky to make plays now without Rezo. He's having the good game on the Beastmaster. I think he's getting close to that book. I think you have to just make plays around the Beastmaster because he's going to enable your team so much with that aura, extra little bit of damage too with the drum. Yeah, they're going to be lacking some damage for sure. Like it's really just going to be keep reiterating numbers, right? Like if they see where they have a number advantage, that's when they can fight. If they're doing that at near tier 1, way too risky.
Nice little deny there from Reza.
Yep.
Able to snipe that away with the boar, I believe. Still Nigma holding this lead, 4K ahead. GH, we've seen him do it many times. Pull off those big plays with the Meteor Hammer, and he's going to be able to start doing that again this game as the hammer's on its way out.
Oh, already, look at that. Straight prioritizing to go for it. Bit far up again.
He is. This time he's not even got RMM with him.
They're a bit scared because the tier 1 is there though.
Yeah, they're kind of like, is he really alone?
And they don't have theirs to TP to. They do have the IO to relocate, but yeah, too close to a tier 1 when all those ultis are available.
Didn't have the no one tiny around as well, and his burst very much crucial for getting these kills.
He's trying to finish up his blink. I think he's actually getting pretty close to it.
Should be.
He's been farming really well, or catching up really well. Like he's almost caught up to the Viper, which is pretty huge. Even though it has been Weehawk kind of giving his life away from the bottom, but
yeah, been playing pretty wild on the bottom lane, which at the moment hasn't really hurt him too much. It's been working right. Space has been created for Miracle and Mind Control in that sense as well, as both of these cores are getting
done again in the mid lane though. He looks like he's very dead here. He does have the Mac to turn it for a moment, but his team TP bottom already.
Bottom sides. He's trying to run from the four of them. Won't make it away, so Nigma finding a trade, but I mean, it is a lot of times back-to-back now that Weehar's going down. This mid tower won't fall, as they're going to be able to TP over and push VP back away from this, so the tier 1 will be a help for now. But I mean, I feel like there's got to be a point where, you know, there's so many deaths is a little too many on this Viper.
I guess he's just playing as, I mean, he's playing very over-aggressive. I guess he's not expecting how much damage the VP can actually deal out when he is out that far, but I guess it's really in his head too. It's all about the Miracle game, right? Yeah. That's why he went for Mac. He's the supporting cast to his. Oh my!
IOTW is farming away silently and pretty nicely.
I've not seen that pick up actually on an IO.
A bit of a different build.
He's got the orc. Okay. I mean, the silence versus Phoenix is really nice. The heavy amount of attack speed too he can benefit from.
And I think the good thing about it this game is, you know, GH is going to go for this Meteor Hammer build. So, like, what heroes are going to be able to remove the silence? Drow, obviously, with the Manta down the line, but no one else really wants to build anything to take it off them.
Yeah, I think he just wants to break the team fight, because if they can stop the egg from going off in fights, then their team fight's actually not that bad in comparison to Nigma. It's still not the same, but it's a little bit better. So, I mean, can be cool item build. I've never seen it on the IOs.
Well, definitely something that they had planned here, VP, and we'll see how it goes. Still yet to, we say for the most part, RTW, he's just been silently farming away. Relocate here and there, but very much been playing away from the action.
But he's doing great.
Farm is very good.
Yeah, farm is excellent, and the rush does go down. Net worth is kind of started to even out a little bit because, like you said, ILTW is getting so much farm.
Oh, man. Steps forward. That's a quick and easy combo for VP. Bottom. Relocate's coming in. They've got the setup with the Royal. Reza just drops it onto Mind Control. There's the silence from ILTW. I think you've got to be a little worried here if you're Nigma. You had an excellent control at the laning stage onwards. It's starting to slip away. A few deaths here and there as VP. They're making the moves to get back into a game that is not easy to do with their draft. They at the moment are just starting to outmaneuver Nigma. They're getting caught off. They're back in this game, and this IO, this ILTW IO, it's got a lot of potential. These sort of relocate moves comboed with the Silence the Orchid, it's just enough, right, to amp up that
Dire's
burst
bottom
combo
tower
from the
is
Tiny
under attack.
to make sure that they have a solid shot of getting even these tankier heroes like the Undying.
Yeah, and I mean, they've really built up so much. Like, look how shut down he is now. He's actually equivalent net worth or less than the Tiny. It was kind of flickering back between the two of them there. So he's not as tanky as he once was. Now they have all these levels built up. They picked up a couple items.
He has got the Greaves on the Viper now. So.
Okay, so he's got the Dispel at least too for that Orchid, but still, I mean, he's definitely shown that he can die.
An easy catch here from RMN. Finds the setup with the cogs.
Yep. Nigma now grouping up. This is where they're at their big strong point here. We see the IO relocate. He's trying to cut the creep wave immediately. You can tell the kind of style that they still do want to play on VP. They don't want to run into that 5-man death ball. They still want to look for those pickoffs. We'll be this tier 2 dead here.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing for sure. Right? I mean, unless VP start to get really far ahead, a 5v5 is never going to feel good for them.
No, it's going to be always very difficult.
Yeah.
Unless they can, start with a number advantage, right? That's what we keep saying, is if they can catch like the Phoenix in the back lines and then they trickle and start killing one by one, that's how their lineup kind of works.
Yeah, but a heads-up team fight
Team fight will be tough.
Yeah.
They can't kill Egg, though. That is one thing. They do have Beastmaster Aura, they have IO Overcharge, they do have these elements to be able to kill. It's just when everything is together, like Tombstone, Egg, it's a lot of things they have to worry about.
Yeah, you can really feel now Nigma with the Greaves on Weehard. They're like, right, let's just run down lanes as 5. We're very strong still.
To stop getting picked off, right? It's the biggest thing is stop going to lanes by yourself or showing 2 heroes. Have to just play as a unit. This is now maybe where VP can look to start to find a catch here when Nigma does split away from each other, when they are looking to split up for those lanes.
Zayt's with his own combo to play with too. Of course, the hammer.
Full aggressive build though for him. So who's gonna build the Force Staff for them? Because I do feel like they want a Force Staff to get people in and out, away from the Egg or out of the cogs. So I guess it's just gonna be Abaddon who goes for that one first. Maybe they find a catch here.
I certainly will. Oh,
These are all gone.
they didn't get the shackle.
But he's good.
Yeah, he knows that no point in popping the ult. He'll save that for the team fight.
They find someone though when they do back up and split off, so they do at least find that pick off here. Their lanes are in a good spot too.
And they've got the Force for no one delivered out, so ways to save.
I think Solo, I believe he also has it done. So I think they do have 2 Force Staffs on the side of VP to get in and out of the action. I mean, all things considered, it's less than 1k gold lead for Nigma. I feel like VP's probably pretty happy with the way all things have gone.
Mid might be in a bit of a rough place here as RMN. He's got the hook shot. Still the safe from Solo, but RMN with a nice pushback from those cogs gets no one back into the hands of Mind Control and Weehart. And they very quickly make work of him. He's going to come charging towards Solo, but no diving the high ground quite yet here.
Still no Force Staff on Solo. He was actually so close to having it there. If he had it, which is just a little bit of gold away, I think like 20 or so, whatever, he maybe would have been able to actually save the Tiny there. So.
And they're splitting up the lanes nicely. I mean, again, you got to keep eyes on this IO. ILTW is continually just, he's right there behind Miracle's farm. And his BKB is, it's 200 gold away from being done.
That's,
he's going to be incredibly strong in these fights.
Yeah, and that's a build that he wants to get involved in actual team fights, right? Because then he can actually focus fire things. Now, though, he's trying to go for a solo kill on Clock, but there's a Drow here.
He may. No, he's going to bring down RMN with him. No, he's not.
The Alpha Wolf, nope, and they get that kill too. RMN is fine with 80 HP. Huge pickup. Look how much gold they get too, because that high net worth of the IO. Miracle. And lots of space too. 40 seconds where that IO can't look for a split. Nope.
He's running into the 4 of them. He's gone straight in here. Hook shots up. I mean, he's able to turn and toss back Mind Control. The Supernova's down. The Fall Staffs. Is it actually enough to save no one? It looks like it is. No one somehow getting away from... No, he didn't. He ended up... Mind Control's able to get him reach with the final Soul Rip by the looks of it and nuked him down.
That's a quick succession of kills that... Yeah, especially versus a Drow lineup. Now they're going to capitalize on it. Tier 2 likely to go down. Heal up 2 with the Greaves. Oh, they were just stunning. They were keeping their footing too very well for VP, but these type of kills, they've really snowball.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's such an easy draw for Nigma to play, even in a game that's even.
Yeah, I mean, the Drow just is able to kill those buildings super easy. So now starting to get back. ILTW is relocating to split push.
Yeah, and use that final wave, and the BKB will be done.
There's no egg, no hook shot. Tombstone's still on CD2. They're gonna back away. They don't want VP to try to catch him. That's a scary place for Nigma to get caught, because that's where you start getting tossed into the base, and people just die one by one.
I mean, they're going to try and find a catch here.
They still have the ward on the high ground, so they do see Miracle in the front.
It's not going to latch, and now the turnaround comes into play. Hook shot in from RMN. Is there further force to save this Wind Ranger? The moment shot, the rocket flare, they'll keep him alive. Dive forward from GH, but the heals from ILTW keep Zayats protected.
They stuck together as that unit. Nigma didn't back away one by one. They waited until DP made the move. Now they TP back. Nice play by them. VP, let's see if they can actually catch anyone though on the retreat. It's not looking like it.
I mean, now that they know a couple of them have gone.
Oh.
And do they have... No, they don't have the relocate available, so... No chance for a catch or a setup.
Nice disengaged by Nigma. The way they played down was really nice. I think they recognized, right? Just outside the base, that's where it can be scary. You can lose consecutive heroes on the chase out, but yeah, sticking together. And we see Weeha, like we said, he's all about, you know, buffing up Miracle this game. Greaves into Medallion, into Solar Crest, just buff up the Drow so that she can solo carry.
Yeah, and that Crimson from Mind Control is going to help out a lot against all these little right clicks from VP.
Yep, solo. Take a step up, but there's a lot of slow.
Yeah, they'll be able to deal with this about it. There's no help coming.
Uh-oh, 7k gold lead, and they get a pick off immediately. It's time to push again into the high ground. And even aggressive Tombstone up there too for vision, so they can see if any heroes do TP and where they are. Tombstone at night too, that night vision it provides. You actually see everybody inside of the base there. LVB pretty far, it's like 1200 or 1800 with that night vision, so.
They just can't get them off this tower.
And they see everybody. Look, Rezo constantly getting those zombies onto him. Same thing with ILTW. They're aware of the positioning.
Shackles are just not connecting. The hammer does.
Hey, he's dead on Zayats. The magic
No one's ever get the toss back onto Weeha, but Weeha's forced back away and healed up by the Soul Rip. There'll be a buyback from Zayats. And they cannot stop Nigma from taking the mid racks. The melee rack's gone. They'll even bring down the range racks as well before they're on their way out, as Nigma got what they came for. 10k lead up now.
Their 5-man is just way too strong. And they're just holding on now. I mean, they still have Supernova. They know they just can stick together, wait until someone jumps out.
He's going to look for the toss back. He's able to grab Miracle. He's up into the base. Miracle's forced aside. No, the second force as well gets Miracle away. He's able to turn with the guts. He was just trying to finish him off with the Soul Repeal and the Summary. Keep Miracle alive. Only RMN going down. They're trying to go back in. The egg down. No one is in with a huge avalanche on the four of them. Can they take the egg down in time? They're trying. They cannot do so. The Supernova successful as GH comes out of it all.
He's burning them. He's burning them all.
That's a die back on Zayats. VP, they tried their best to kick back at Nigma, but even then, still just unable to win these fights. No one coming in with huge stuns, but Nigma's just a little too far ahead.
Yeah, they get the one hero, but the whole team fights together, and we're really seeing just the power. When they're grouped up, it's just impossible. There's no way VP can take anything with just a straight up 5v5. They have to, I mean, they have to just get, if they get the kill initially on Miracle there, perhaps, right? Because then they can start to chase forward, then they can focus fire the egg, but it took them that second re-go to try to get him, where Nigma can respond a little bit better. Yeah, 12k gold lead, not looking easier for VP as it progresses.
Yeah, it's just going to be a game where the deep tosses are going to be what's going to do it, if there is anything here for VP. And no one did come close to making some nice plays there, but the abundance of 4 staffs
and sustain
heals.
Soul Rip, Sunray, Greaves as well. It's just there's so many different tools that they can utilize with their 5-man. Even if Vlad's now on the Undying too, so yeah, they're all about just auras and group up and end. And they even get now the Roche is back up, perfect timing for them. I feel like VP, if they don't stop this Roche, they're just gonna get barreled down a lane and inevitably lose this one. So I feel like they might be forced to actually contest it.
Do find themselves a repair kit, so a little something that's going to help them against these pushes from Nigma.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how they contest it, but no, and he's chilling around the area. He knows it's going on, but
oh, he's in trouble. He is in a lot of trouble here. Maybe Solo can save him. Solo, he can't get close enough to shield him. They're just pushing them apart. No one goes down, and Solo, he can't get out of this either. He can try and run. He's got the ult. He's got a TP, but as long as RMN can close in, they'll be able to cancel this. The space is there as well for Miracle to finish Roche, grab the Aegis. And Solo pushed out of the game by these cogs. 70 seconds, no Abaddon. Miracle also having the completed Skadi.
Oh god, and he's playing versus a ranged carry of the IO, so Scotty just double benefit versus those ranged carries. I mean, this is just a luxury item, it feels like, as with this Aegis, with the cheese, they should be able to just group up and go. So we're seeing VP trying to split up the map here.
They're gonna dive this, but look at the TPs. 4 TPs coming in reaction. Can they even kill GH?
Oh, the heals.
They can't get anywhere close to. GH is more than fine. ILTW is gonna get popped. The BKB will not keep him alive against the physical and the magic immunity piercing abilities that Nigma have.
That looked like a desperate kind of play there.
I think that was the last attempt there from VP this game. The tips coming out back in response now. Nigma getting some revenge as they fire them the way of ILTW.
GH just buys a full refresher too. He's like, all right, you know what? One egg was enough, but now let's throw in a second one. Smoke immediately to the tower. Probably pushing the wave, go toward top. Maybe they can catch some people here too. Rezo, just be a little careful how far he steps up here as the smoke might catch him off guard. He's got a blink. Can they break it? Is there a hook shot? Not gonna go for it. They're just goes like through the board. What the?
Oh, man, going straight for it. Rezo, can he get his way out of this? Is there anyone to help him? There is not. Rezo's down. Yeah, no buyback on him. And with this push, they can take these very quickly. A fortification is there.
Okay.
We'll buy a bit of time. 20 seconds until ILTW's back up, but 40 seconds without Rezo.
Miracle's just so buff. Look at this. Pulls around. Doesn't.
No one. Oh, they get the fountain dodge. He's got a fountain. The 4-star gets him out. Timing at the supernova.
With the sunrise.
They can't deal with it. They're burning inside of their own fountain here. GH gets them all.
And a second one.
And there they go. Ending it in style, Nigma. GG, well played is called. And if we had sort of the show from VP in game 1, this was the show from Nigma in game 2.
Yeah, they definitely got picked off a couple times where I feel like maybe it was preventable, but I think inevitably they probably just understood the nature of this game is there's no way that VP can win a straight up team fight ever in this one. It's just way too strong of a draft, and with the